Hello, everybody, and this is the Silent K, and we're gonna be playing some MegaMek today. I'm sorry. Um, I just got done replacing one of the light bulbs in the overhead fixture. The lighting quality may be a little bit different. It is a whiter light than I'm used to. But we'll see how it works. Hopefully, it doesn't interfere too much. We are going to be picking up right where we left off. We did fix the 350 XL engine that came out of the Archer. We did fix the right leg that came out of the, I want to say, Locust 2C. We've got some refits going on. We've got the Marauder going to be ready in about 3 days. We've got the Wolverine. Came back from battle with $17,000, 17,000 C-bills, excuse me, worth of repairs needed. The Quick Draw came in with 15,000. The Spider didn't take any damage or use any ammo. The Cronus took just under 10,000, and we did pick up a Locust 2C and a Vixen. The Vixen in particular is interesting because it has ER medium lasers, which I would like to fit into Poser's ride. The autocannon 2, not so much. It's mainly the ER medium lasers, and then the ER small lasers on the Locust 2C. So yeah, we're going to be taking those two mechs apart. We are going to have a little bit of time before that was Illusion Lance comes back to us. Now, I may be mistaken, but I believe that we've explored and reconned all of track 0, which only leaves track 1, and not a lot of it. I was thinking I could send Galatea Lance here if they're not... Yeah, Galatea looks like they are combat ready, so we're going to go ahead and send them here. Hopefully we don't run into any bad guys. Alright. We do have a couple more hexes that need to be reconned. Just this one and this one, looks like. So we can send, it looks like Mariana and Tonga to those two hexes. And provided we don't run into any issues, we can call all of our recon complete. And Mariana ran into a convoy. Or no, Mariana is going to be backing up a convoy. We're going to be protecting an allied convoy against the enemies. Hey, Varenk, glad you could make it. I was a little worried you were going to be late, but it's not a big deal. I'm glad that you're able to be here at all. And I assume you will let me know when you're able to get here on the computer or console or whatever format you normally watch me on, which I'm not completely sure, to be honest. We've got a convoy escort in this hex, and then we will send Galatea Lance, or no, Tonga Lance to this hex, and they also detected a hostile force. They're going to be defending a grounded dropship. And those missions are going to be taking place today, before we can do anything else, literally. Oh boy. Let us start, I think, with the convoy escort. That's going to be Mariana Lance, which is Earl, Petra, Longsword, and Wyvern, as well as an allied force consisting of a dragon, a rifleman, and a demolisher, and a devastator, with a house officer and a 6/6 and a hunchback that we're going to be trying to protect. The convoy is going to be a hyena, a pompier, an APC, a battle mech recovery vehicle, and a Marco. Oh, 2 lances of convoy. A Marco J1 transport field repair unit, another APC, and an Emperor 1A, which might actually have... oh, it has an autocannon 5 in each arm, and a medium laser in each side torso, and the head. Okay, so the Emperor, at least, is not going to be completely defenseless. The primary outfit is going to be 17,000 battle value worth of Clan Wolf. That's going to be a Talon, a Griffin 2N with a 2-3 pilot, a Kentaro 19, a Sentinel 3L, a Shadowhawk 2C with a 2-4 pilot, a Kentaro 19B with a 2-4 pilot, a Crab 27B with a 3-4 pilot, a Griffin 2C with a 2-4 pilot, another Griffin 2N, and another Shadowhawk, a 2HB, which is the Royal unit, which comes with an LB-10X and a Streak 2, a pair of Streak 2s, right torso and head, and a medium laser in each arm. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a battle. We are going to be pretty badly outnumbered. Can we... Actually, the grounded dropship. That's going to be Tonga Lance, which is Tugyu, Hoser, Ash, and Tsubasa, as well as a 4-7 and a Trebuchet with a Triumph 2593 model against 11,000 battle value worth of demon tanks and more demon tanks and more demon tanks, including two royal demon tanks. 7.6 with a Gauss rifle. That should be easy pickings. We do have a pair of Puma assault tanks and a Fury command tank Royal Edition, which has a Gauss rifle and an AMS system. Allied aircraft, which does not consist of any units. Allied artillery, Karnov 3 thumpers. See hot desert in the pitch black. Prevent a grounded dropship from being crippled. You have 30 turns to do so. Okay, let's go ahead. We can start with this battle. We've got 2 rerolls. It is going to be Sea Hot Desert, which is not a map I'm familiar with. That's going to be a 40 by 40 map. Let's take a look at this. So we do have 2 rerolls. So let's see what we're planning on doing with those rerolls. The map is going to be largely swamp, it looks like, which is, I guess, fine by me. Plenty of water as well. So if the dropship deploys like here or something, let me see. The enemy is going to be deploying to the southwest, and we can go ahead and set their camo. We want clans, we want clan wolf. And we'll do still Keshi. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but we'll just remember that the blue tanks are the enemies. And the Triumph is going to be Free Rasselhog Republic. Okay. So the Triumph is going to be in the Freeman camo, and our House Officer is going to be in the Hussars camo. And that is a Trebuchet with a 4-7 pilot worth 886 points. So not a lot of backup there. The big bad on the enemy side is going to be the Fury with the 3-5 tank. The Fury with the 3-5 commander, excuse me, followed by a pair of Pumas. The Pumas carry ERPPC, that is an Inner Sphere ERPPC. 40 LRMs, wow. 2 medium lasers and 2 Streak 2s, as well as a small pulse and a vehicle flamer. Those Pumas with 40 LRMs each might actually be, aside from the Royal Fury with the 3-5 pilot, with the Gauss rifle. So the Fury and the 2 Pumas are going to be the big bads. The Demons with the 4-6 and the 7-6 are going to be also important. The standard demon tank also comes with a Gauss rifle, as well as an SRM-6 and 2 medium lasers. So that is a lot of Gauss rifles on the field against us. Hot desert pitch black doesn't sound good. This is surprisingly swampy for a hot desert. And against this many Gauss rifles, I don't want to give them the range advantage. So I'm thinking we can swap that to full moon night and pick up a little bit of range on them. But mainly, we're going to be relying on sheer damage output, which is gonna mean medium lasers, I think, more than anything. Yeah, that's our 2 rerolls, going from pitch black to midnight, or moonless night, or full moon night, or whatever it was. We have minefields that we can deploy. And they're deploying again on the enemy is deploying in the southwest, so we can mine that area. Let's go ahead, we'll mine the foliage here. Oh, dang it. Let's remove. Okay. Minefield here. Density 30. Okay. I will put a minefield here, just in case I decide to jump there before crossing this way. We will send one spot here in case they deploy in this corner and try to make their way up this way. What are these yellow hexes? Those are sand and swamp. We'll go ahead and mine this foliage here. And that gives us all 4 of our minefields. We've won initiative, but we are going first within our team. And we're deploying in the southeast, which... depending on where the dropship deploys, we might want to... we'll start here. We'll try to scooch this way and get into these heavy foliage, heavy woods. We've got eyes on nobody just yet. Let me get Hoser over here, where he can hang out in these woods. The Stalker... Actually, let's start with the Blackjack. Blackjack can start here and start making his way to those woods as well. And then the Stalker can start in here and start making his way this way. I think that's the plan. Where are the enemies? I saw our dropship. We have lost initiative and we are going basically first within our team. Everyone's at 100%. We do have artillery coming in on next round, and we don't have eyes on anyone, but we do have quite a lot of sensor returns. Okay, so let's see how quickly we can get Hoser into these. Needs a 5. +1 for sand, +1 for swamp. And Hoser is stuck. Okay, well. The Triumph could have deployed in a better spot, to be sure. Could have deployed maybe, I don't know, over by my side of the map instead of in the dead center. Let us start moving this way. The Stalker can start moving this way. And Tsubasa can start moving this way. I'm not happy with the way things are starting to pan out. Hoser's Ride rolls a 2 and gets stuck in the sand and mud. We've got eyes on... Oh, Hoser is being illuminated by somebody's searchlight. Can Hoser return fire at the demon target out of range? Oh, just barely. Do we have eyes on this demon? We've got him on 5s. So, yeah, we've got eyes on a demon, alright. And we'll do 5s all day. Let's see, the Stalker. The LRMs doesn't have range for anybody yet. So we'll skip firing with him. The ER large lasers are also not in range. The dropship is going to be getting absolutely pummeled. The demon hits the Triumph in the right side. Demon hits the Triumph in the right side. Hoser hits the demon in the turret. Almost gets the crit, but no effect. Hits him in the front down to 41 armor. The Fury hits the Triumph in the right side. The demon hits the Triumph in the right side. The demon hits the Triumph in the right side, critical on the thrusters, hits it in the nose for 15, hits it in the right side down to 50. The Triumph hits the demon in the left side, immobilizing it. Hits the turret and the left side and the turret with another 11 points. That is all going on demon tank number 130. And then the Puma hits the Triumph in the right side. That Triumph is going to last about one more turn and then he's going to die. I don't see as how we can do much of anything to prevent that. We've won initiative and we are in fact going last, which is cool. Thumpers are going to be landing in one turn, which means Thumpers are going to be landing this turn, which is cool. Let's see. Ash. How far can we go in one turn, Ash? We can go about 4 hexes in one turn, which is not going to be enough. Maybe we can Reckless and get a bit further. Oh, I did not mean to hit that. I meant to hit more. Well, so much for that plan. I guess the controls locked up. Stalker is not going to be able to make it. Where is Reckless? I'm not seeing Reckless. So I guess we're just going to be able to move 3 hexes. That's a bummer. Thumper landing on the demon, hits it in the rear, hits it in the left side, hits it in the rear, immobilizing it. Thumper hits the Fury in the turret for 5, down to 55 armor there. Let's see. The Triumph taking a bunch of fire again. We've got nothing in range of medium lasers. We've got PCs that might be able to hit something. We've got PPCs at an immobile demon that we would be able to hit him on the right side on ones. Or we've got the other demon on fives. Let's see if we can't do something about that other demon. We'll do 3 PPCs, and the large laser's not going to be in range. The Stalker is being illuminated by this demon, which we do not have in range. Do we have any LRMs that we can fire? Nothing in range of LRMs either. Tsubasa with the ER large lasers can fire on this demon on 10s, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, everyone gets eliminated. The demon hits the Triumph in the right side, hits it in the right side, hits it in the left side. Oh no, the Triumph hits the demon in the left side, immobilizing it. LRM 20 at the same demon, number 130, hits it in the front with 9 LRMs, down to 36 armor. Demon hits it in the right side, demon hits it in the right side. Hoser hits the demon in the left side, costing it minor motor system damage. Demon tank hits the Triumph on the right side. It's destroyed by structural integrity collapse. We knew that was coming. There wasn't really a lot we could do about that. 751 tons of cargo is lost, which is a real bummer. They're going to continue shooting at the Triumph, which, I mean, overkill is whatever. Blackjack missing on 10s. The Puma hits it in the right side. And if you ask me, this mission was kind of bullshit. We've lost initiative, but we are going last within our team. Maybe we can salvage this by killing enough of them, but I mean, our objective has already failed, so I don't think there's much we can do at this point. Against that many Gauss rifles, we just didn't really have a chance. Needs a 5 to avoid bogging down, and we get stuck, because apparently we can't roll better than a 5 to save our lives, or the lives of those around us. The Stalker will move forward, I guess. Tsubasa will move forward, I guess. I don't know why I'm not just calling this a defeat right now. Thumper lands on the Puma, hits it in the left side for 15, costing it half its movement points and leaving it with 17 armor, but the left side is not where we're going to be able to target it. Ash has nothing in range of the medium lasers. Hoser with the PPCs. We don't have any of these guys in range, but if we torso twist, we can catch this guy on 4s. Yeah, we'll take that shot. The Stalker with the LRMs, I don't think is gonna have much of a shot either. Oh no, we've got a demon. We have him on 13s. So yeah, no, not much of a shot at all. And last but not least, Tsubasa has this demon on 10s, so we'll take a couple of shots at that. Okay, everyone gets eliminated. The demon tank hits Hoser in the left torso for 15, down to 9, and I think we're gonna bug out. Hoser hits the demon in the left side, it's down to 21 armor, hits it in the front and the turret for 9 each, down to 41 and 21. Demons shooting at Hoser, 3 of them. One of them hits him in the right arm, down to 9 armor. Blackjack missing, the Puma missing. Hoser falls down, needs a 6, gets a 5. Takes 8 damage to the left torso and right leg, needs a 6 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 4. Hoser takes a point of damage, needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets a 4. And at this point, we've already failed our objectives, so we're going to go ahead and call that a defeat, and we're going to call it that twice so that it sticks. Yes, we're going to save the salvage. No, we didn't control the battlefield. Hoser's ride took some light damage according to this. Hoser took 1 point of damage. The demon tank, we'll give that to Hoser, and the fury goes to either the artillery or the dropship, which is no longer with us. Force withdrawal, we failed. Preserve 100%, we did succeed. Preserve 50%, we did succeed. Considering that we finished 2 out of 3 objectives, it's going to try to call that a victory, but no, that was definitely at least a marginal defeat. Which, again, I don't think was really fair. If I'd been in control of where the dropship had been put down, perhaps we could have done that. But I wasn't, and Princess is stupid, so we are going to be saddled with a failure. In the infirmary, Delphine is going to be taking care of Hoser, who has a laceration on his head. In the repair bay, we're not going to have a lot going on at the moment. We're going to be taking apart a couple of clan mechs, which we're going to be doing with our elite techs. Elena has that on a 5. Does anyone else have that on a 5? No. Okay, so Elena is going to be our armor specialist. 145 minutes left. He's doing this on 5s, which is better than anyone else can do. And we will finish that tomorrow. All the weapons and everything shy of the upper, or the actuators, is going to be ×4. I'm thinking the actuators are going to be ×3, and those are going to be green tech kind of things. We can have Yasrudin do a couple of these on 5s. We can have Ratnabala do a couple of these on 5s. Oh, Ratnabala finally made it to regular. Let us promote her real quick. Oh, didn't mean to click that. Spend XP on current skills, Tech Mech, which makes her a regular now, which is outstanding. So Yasrudin is the only one left that needs to be brought up to regular. We can have Ratnabala do another actuator. That'll be another day. And yeah, Ouch is right. Those Gauss rifles friggin' hurt. Alright, Bill, can you salvage an Ultra AC2 on a 7? Yes, you can. ER Medium Laser, we're going to have Fred Modry try that on a 5. ER Medium Laser, we're going to have Chris try that on a 5 and fail. We'll have Loney try that on a 5 and succeed, barely. B will remove the machine gun ammo bin, and then we've got a couple of machine guns. We can have Penny knock out one of those on a 5, hopefully, and we can have George Valdez knock out the other on a 6. Successfully, yes. Okay, so a 270 XL engine, Clan Tech type. We can have a veteran do that on a 5, or we could wait and have an elite do that on a 4. I think I'm going to wait. Standard gyro, we can have an Acito do that on a 4. It's just going to take him some time. The cockpit, we'll have Guillaume. No, we'll have Tamalika do that on a 4. It'll only take her 3 days. The rest is actuators and armor and parts. The Locust is waiting on armor. We've got ER small lasers. Those are all going to be ×4, as well as that clan double heatsink. The cockpit is going to be ×4. Big Fluffy, hi, how are you? It's always nice to see you. Right now, things are going kind of meh. We just finished getting our butts kicked trying to defend a grounded dropship that deployed on the enemy side of the map and got ganked in 2 turns. Other than that, we are salvaging some clan tech, so that is not all bad. We are running low on tech, so we do have a green tech who has clan tech knowledge, but like I said, he's green. That happened to us last week. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It always sucks. I'm gonna have some regulars take out these ERs. Wait. Denise, why did that? Oh! Oh! Oh, Denise also has clan tech knowledge. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's amazing. So we already have a regular mech tech with clan tech knowledge. That's cool. Everyone else is going to need 6s for the regulars, or we can have veterans do that on 5s. I think I'm going to have veterans do that. It's going to take some time, but it's going to be worth it, I think. A bunch of ER small lasers coming out of this clan mech, and it's going to be probably 4 days before that's all done. The double heatsink, we can have Kostya do that on a 4. It's going to take her a couple days. Standard cockpit, we can have Ethan knock that out over the course of a couple days. And again, the actuators are waiting for Yasrudin so that he can get some XP, so that he can be another regular with clan tech knowledge. We do have an ER medium laser that's going to need some repairs. We can have... where's Doodles? There he is. He can do that on a 3 successfully. Nice. We've got the Vixen and the Locust needing tech time, but we're not going to give it to them. Everyone else seems to be checking out. Alright, moving on to December 22nd, 3049. Yes, we have unmaintained units. You have... oh, pending battle. Getting ahead of myself here. Yeah, we also have a convoy escort today. We do have a dragon, a rifleman, a demolisher, and a devastator going to be tagging along for the ride. We have a hunchback, 4P. 4P is the medium laser one. Yes. 6 medium lasers in the right torso. So that is the original swayback. The convoy is worth 3,000 points. Primary outfor is worth 17,000 points. On a moonless night, maybe we can make that darker so that our convoy can make it across the map without getting shot. Big bads on the primary outfor are the Griffin 2N with the elite pilot. The Griffin 2C with the almost elite pilot with Hopping Jack and Swamp Master. The Shadowhawk Royal with Dodge is also up there. The Kentaro with the almost elite pilot. Griffin 2C with the almost elite pilot. And that one has an ER large, ER small, and 4 LRM5s. So 20 LRMs and an ER large. That's not huge. I'm not worried about it one-shotting us, for example. The Shadowhawk has some good splash damage, but not a lot of punch. The Kentaro, again, splash damage, not a lot of punch. The Crab has some punch. The Griffin 2N has some punch. The Shadowhawk with the LB10X has some punch. The Talon has a PPC. Sentinel has an Ultra Autocannon 5. Alright, we'll do the Allied Force in the Freeman camo. We'll do the Convoy in the Hussars camo. The House Officer, we can do that in Cyan. Allied Aircraft can also be Cyan, why not? Artillery, not really worried about that. Oh, that was Clan Wolf. Let's do them. Beta Galaxy is a good camo for the bad guys. It stands out. So yeah, 2 stars of Clan Tech versus a Lance of Inner Sphere Tech. Couple lances of backup. We're deploying in the east, they're deploying in the west. Our objective is to make sure the convoy makes it across. Alright, and we have minefields. Oh, this is not much of a map. We'll throw in a couple of minefields, but honestly, I don't really see the point. Because the odds of them stepping on these are slim to none. We have 1 initiative, but we are going first within our team, aside from the artillery, but they don't really count. Alright. So where do we deploy where we can do the most good? I'm thinking here. Facing this way. That is Wyvern with the SRMs and not a lot of visibility. That is gonna be Earl in the Atlas. We can start him here and he can just make a beeline down in this direction. He'll narrowly miss this little pocket here. We can have the Banshee deploy next to him. And the Gundog, I feel like will deploy to the south and kind of close ranks with them in the midfield. Yeah, that works for me. Now, hopefully, the convoy deploys with us and not way up there. We have 1 initiative. I don't know what this hyena is planning to do, but I don't like it. Let's see, the archer. Okay, there's the more button, and there's the reckless button. So we will move 6 movement points. We need a 3 or better. Earl will move 5 hexes at a run. He needs a 4 or better. We do have eyes on some enemies. Needs a 4 or better. Hopefully we don't screw that up. And longsword shouldn't need more than like a 3 because he's a quad mech. Alright. The convoy is following in our footsteps, hopefully. The enemy is starting to advance. Let's see, we've got a Sentinel, we've got a Talon here up in the north. We've got a Kintaro, we've got a pair of Kintaros and the Griffins down in the middle, as well as the Crab, and down at the south we have another Griffin and a Shadowhawk. Alright, we don't have eyes on anyone, I don't think. But it can't hurt to double check. Let's see if those LRMs have the reach that we're gonna need. No, they're not. If the LRMs aren't gonna make it, then yeah, nothing's gonna make it. Oh, hey, Frank. Glad you could make it back to the computer. You didn't miss much. We just deployed. The convoy is following, hopefully, along the lines. I heard Hoser getting shot and it was scary as I was getting lag on the phone and just heard only 9 armor left. Yeah, that was on the last round of the turn though. Or the last turn of the battle, I should say. And I got you pulled out. You didn't actually take any more damage than that. We've got Thumpers landing in 1 turn. Hopefully where they can do some good. Yeah, no, Hoser took a little damage, but not too much. Nothing to be worried about. We'll have Wyvern move. Needs a pair of 3s. Hopefully we can make that. No whammies. Earl in the Atlas will continue moving forward. He needs a 4. Petra in the Banshee, I think needs a 3. Needs a 4. Oh man, I know I'm pushing my luck with these. Needs a 3. I don't feel like I'm pushing my luck too hard with the 3, but the 4s I feel like are gonna add up and eventually they're gonna kick me in the butt. Everyone succeeds except the APC on the convoy, which fails to flank and turn, side slips 2 hexes, no big deal. Probably side slipped in the direction he was trying to go. Wyvern with the LRMs. Getting illuminated, I guess, by the Shadowhawk. Do we have... we don't quite have him in range. By 1 hex. We've got the Crab on 12s, we've got the Kintaro on 11s. We've got 12 rounds of firing between the 2 LRM 20s. On 11s, is that worth it? Let's save the ammo. We might need it in a minute. Let's see. Who's this? This is Earl in the Atlas. He's got the Crab on 14s. He's got the Griffin on 14s. And no one else, of course. We've got the Banshee with the PPCs. Has no one in range, of course. And the Gundog with the LB10X also probably has no one in range. No. So some people are getting illuminated, but I don't think anyone's going to take any damage this turn at least. The Kintaro and the Griffin both taking shots with ER large laser and some LRM 15s and missing on 12s. Maybe next turn we can land a couple hits. Everyone's at 0 heat. We've lost initiative, but we are going late in our turn. Or among our team. Thumpers will be landing next turn, of course. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so we've got hovercraft making their way across the map, which is good. If they can get all the way across the map, then that's good for victory points. We've got some LRM 20s. Oh, it's our turn to move. Let's move the Banshee recklessly. 5 hexes on a 4+. That's gonna bite me. I know it is. Wyvern can start cutting across this way, or we got the Shadowhawk there. Can we get the Shadowhawk in range? I wonder. We can get him to long range. That's actually not bad. It's better than extreme range, and we only need 3 to do it. Earl will be moving 5 hexes, same as Petra. He's gonna need a 4 to do it. And he succeeds. And Longsword is gonna need a... Oh, he can sidestep, so that's cool. He is gonna be getting 2 evasion pips. He needs a 3 or better. Needs a 4 gets a 7, needs a 3 gets an 8, needs a 4 gets an 8, needs a 3 gets a 4. Okay, so even if Longsword is trying to get himself fallen down, we managed to make it. No one crashed their mech. Wyvern taking fire from the Griffin and the Shadowhawk. We do have some LRMs. We've got the Shadowhawk on 10s. We've got the Griffin on 10s. We've got the Griffin 2C on a 9. The Griffin 2C on a 9 might be our best shot. We've got the Kentaro on a 10. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get better than 28%, so we'll go ahead and fire both of those. Maybe one of them will land, we'll see. Earl with the LB-10X at the Crab on 12s, at the Griffin on 12s. Yeah, we'll go for the Griffin. The Griffin on 12s. And we'll throw in the LRMs. Not that I think they're going to hit, but I mean, you can't hit what you don't shoot. We've got the Griffin on 12s. With Petra and the Banshee. And Longsword and the Goliath has the Griffin on 11s. So we'll take that shot. And that's about it. We're not going to hit with anything. That's my prediction. The Griffin misses the Marco on an 11. The Crab hits the APC in the left side on a 10, immobilizing it. That's 1 victory point. The Griffin hits Wyvern in the CT with an ERPPC, needs a 10, gets an 11, deals 10 damage down to 23 armor. Wyvern missing on a pair of 9s, the Talon missing on 11s, Earl missing on 12s, Petra missing on 12s, Longsword missing on an 11, and the Griffin 2C missing on 9s. All those 4s make me nervous. Okay, yeah, let's, now that we've got them in range, we're gonna start slowing down. We're not going to be reckless now that we can take some shots. Mainly, I just wanted to get out ahead of the convoy and try to soak up some damage. But some of those convoy units are just so fast, they're making it across the map in record time. Like, I don't know if this APC is moving reckless, or if he just really has enough movement points to make it across the map that quickly without moving reckless. We can get the Shadowhawk to medium range. That's a 3, 4, 5, 4, 3 for PSAs. Yeah, let's see if we can hit that Shadowhawk a bit. Earl will be moving forward 1 hex. Petra will be moving forward 1 hex. And Longsword in a quad mech can go ahead and move recklessly. So we'll go ahead and get him out in front of these guys. He needs a 3 or better. We can handle that, I think. Alright, let's see what we can do. Battle mech recovery vehicle's making his way across the field. All they've got is a light and a medium up here, but a light and a medium might be all it takes to completely screw up our north side of the map. Round report, Goliath, Longsword and the Goliath needs a 3, gets a 5, so that was successful. Incoming artillery does no damage. Okay, Wyvern has the Shadowhawk on 13s with the lasers. I don't think he has anyone else in range of the lasers. Alright, so what have we got with the LRMs? We've got 8s on the Shadowhawk with the LRMs. We've got 8s on the Griffin, 8s on the Griffin 2C. The Griffin 2C has ER large 4 LRM 5s. Griffin, ER PPC twin SRM 6s. Shadowhawk, LB10X, which might as well be a PPC, and a bunch of SRMs. Alright, we're gonna skip the mediums. We're gonna go for the Shadowhawk on 8s. Hopefully we land something. Earl has the Shadowhawk on 11s and 13s. That's not gonna hit either. Petra has the Griffin on 11s. Has the Shadowhawk on 11s. I think we've got the Griffin over here on 9s. Yes. So we'll take a couple of 9s at that. Nothing else is in range. And Longsword at the Griffin on 9s or at the Crab on 8s. Let's go for the Crab on 8s. And we'll throw some medium lasers at the Griffin. Some medium lasers and some SRMs. 12s. Yeah, we've got the heat sinks. We might as well shoot them. Everyone gets eliminated. The Shadowhawk hits the APC on the left side for 1 damage, which destroys the APC. Okay. The Griffin hits the APC on the turret, which destroys the APC. The Dragon hits the Crab in the right arm for 2, down to 14. The Crab hits Wyvern in the right leg for 8, down to 18. Wyvern missing on 8s, Earl missing on 11s, the Shadowhawk missing on a 10, Banshee missing on 9s, Gundog Actually landed 3 SRMs on 12s on the Griffin's CT and the legs, down to 22 on the legs. The Sentinel missing on a 12, the Emperor missing on 12s, the enemy Griffin hits Wyvern in the CT on a 6. Does he need a 6? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Wyvern was not evasive, for one thing, and apparently he's at medium range. Okay, so there's that. The Kentaro missing on 11. The Kentaro landing 9 LRMs on Wyvern's arms. The Griffin 2C landing an ER large on Wyvern's left torso, down to 14. Landing 7, 10 LRMs to the left and right torso and the right arm. And the APC missing on a 12. Wyvern took 40 plus, needs a 5, gets a 6, so he stays standing. Let's see if we can get someone out in front of Wyvern, because we know how Princess loves to kill archers. The Talon misses a kick on the BattleMech recovery vehicle, needs a 5 to stay standing, gets a 9. The Griffin 2C is at 3 heat, the Griffin 2N is at 2 heat. Everyone else is running cool. We've lost initiative for the team, and we are in fact going first, so that's lovely. We've got artillery incoming next round, of course. Wyvern will recklessly... Oh. Will recklessly back up. I'm thinking 4 hexes. That keeps medium range on the Shadowhawk, which is good. Need a 3 or better, we can handle that. Earl will move forward 1 hex. Petra will also move forward 1 hex, I think. Goliath can move forward... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, the Griffin hasn't moved yet. Dang, losing initiative sucks. We'll move forward 1 hex and let them come to us, I think. We've got the Kentaro at medium range and long range for the SRMs, so at least we have a target. A bunch of guys making their moves. We're actually making it across the field fairly quickly, which is surprising to me. Wait. Oh, the Griffin got within 3 hexes of longsword, so we're going to be firing on him, I think. With the medium laser and the SRMs, if nothing else. The Hunchback, the Emperor, following the Marco up into that corner. We've got air support. Wyvern needs a 3, gets a 9. APC flees the battlefield, so that's 1 victory point on the books. In the books? On the books. I think. Thumper lands on the Shadowhawk 2C, hits him in the left leg for 5, so that's something. Oh, the Shadowhawk. We need 8s to hit him. He is... We've got the Griffin on 13. We've got the Griffin on 6s. We've got the Crab on 6s. Yeah, let's reinforce this north side. I don't think we need to worry about the south end there. We've got a Shylone and a Pompier against the Shadowhawk. Actually, that's not fair. We've got a samurai making a flyby on the Shadowhawk. Maybe he can knock him down. But yeah, I think the archer is going to be firing on the crab so we can get those juicy 6s. And the griffin on 14s is not going to happen. Earl, the LB10X on the griffin on a 6. It's going to be 6s and 8s. We'll take all of the 8s if you don't mind. And we'll throw in a 7. Let's skip one of the mediums. We'll do the 7 and we'll do an 8 with the SRM to go 3 heat over on the griffin. Petra has the griffin on 8s, has the crab on 8s, has the Shadowhawk on 12s. Yeah, that's going to be the crab. We'll try to knock him down this turn. On a trio of 8s and a bunch of 12s, we will skip 2 of the mediums to throw in the SRM to put us 2 heat over. Longsword at the crab has him on 5s, which is not bad. We do have the griffins are both ECM sources, but the crab is the easy target. We've got him on 5s. Let's go ahead, try to take him down. We've got him on 5s and 8s. We've got the griffin on 7s, actually. Oh, we can't torso twist in the quad mech, can we? No. Okay, so that's going to be 7s on the griffin. 7s and 11s. Yeah, 7s and 11s. Or, wait, what was that? Oh man, all those arrows. Oh, the quad mech went down. That's not good. The samurai, the lightning, and the 2 Shilones all lose 1 altitude from weapon attacks, so no dive bombs, just regular attacks. Wyvern hits the crab with 12 LRMs to the left arm and left torso. Earl hits the griffin in the center torso with the LB10X and the right leg with the large laser, and the left torso with a medium laser, so that's going to be a PSR for him, as well as 5 SRMs to the arms and the left leg. The Shadowhawk misses the samurai on a 6. Petra hits the crab in the left torso and right leg for 10 each, down to 1 armor on that left torso, down to 14 on that right leg. The Goliath, missing the crab with the 5, hits the griffin with the medium laser and the small laser to the left torso and left arm. So that's 8 damage plus 3 SRMs, 5 SRMs, 7 SRMs. That's 14 and 8 is going to be a PSR for the griffin. So that's the left torso for 5, the left arm for 3, the legs, the arms, the head for 2. The right arm is down to 10. The griffin hits Goliath in the left torso with a PPC, down to 10 armor. 4 SRMs to the right torso and right rear leg. The rifleman missing on 10s and 12s. The crab hits Wyvern in the right torso, down to 13. The dragon hits the crab in the left leg and right arm with 6 LRMs. The Shadowhawk hits Longsword in the front right leg with a medium pulse. Front left leg with a medium pulse. ER medium to the right torso for 7. Streak SRMs to the front right leg, the rear left leg down to 24. The right torso and the front right leg down to 13. Right torso down to 5. The samurai hits the Shadowhawk in the CT down to 18. Hits him in the medium with a medium laser to the right and left arm down to 11 in both of those spots. And the left arm takes 2 more small lasers down to 5. The lightning missing with the autocannon 20 and 2 mediums on 9s. The sentinel missing the hunchback on a 10. The Shylone missing on 8s. The other Shylone missing on 8s. The griffin hits longsword in the rear left leg for 10 with a PPC, down to 14 armor there. All 6 SRMs mainly to the legs, also the right and left torso. Right torso is down to 3, left torso is down to 8. Right torso is down to 1, right torso is down to 16 structure. Okay, so the gun dog is out of armor on that right torso. The Emperor missing on 10s and 11s, the Talon missing on 7s and 9s, the Marco missing on an 11, the Kintaro missing on 11s, except for 3 LRMs to Gundog's center torso. The other Kintaro hits longsword in the front left leg with 2 medium lasers, down to 3 armor there, and a pair of SRMs, down to 16 structure. Right torso takes another 4 SRMs, critting on his SRM4, also taking damage to the front left leg, critting on his foot. Front left leg taking another damage from some LRMs. Griffin 2C hits Earl in the left torso with the ER large down to 31. LRM 5 to the left torso down to 28. 5 more LRMs to the right torso and right leg. Griffin took 20 plus, needs a 5, gets a 10. The Crab needs a 6, gets a 3, takes 5 to the right torso. The Griffin needs a 6, gets an 8. The Shadowhawk needs a 7, gets a 10. Longsword. Base 5, minus 2 for the quad is 3. 4 for the foot. 9 for the sheer amount of damage. Goes down on his front left leg, which blows off the front left leg, and takes 3 to the right torso, which crits on the LB-10X. Man, this mech is just getting chewed up. Needs a 9 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 4. Needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets a 9. Alright, so he's down to what? A medium laser and 3 SRM4s? That's no good. We're at 3 and 2 heat with our 3 mechs. Oh, there's the Archer. The Archer's at 0 heat. I was like, where's our 4th mech? Let's see. The Griffin 2C is at 9 heat. The Shadowhawk 2C is at 6. The Kintaro 19 is at 5. Everyone else is running relatively cool. Let's see. Lightning is undamaged. We have lost initiative, and we are going after the aircraft. We're at 94%. Nero's makes no difference. Our forces are at 88%. The convoy is at 89%. Primary Op 4 is still at 96%. They have 2 units with light damage. We haven't destroyed anything. We haven't done moderate or heavy damage to anything. This sucks. We've got 1 mech that's basically useless. It's been trashed. We've got another mech in danger. So we've got really just 2 mechs. This is the one I said was in danger. Down to 10 on the left torso. Alright, let us try to get closer to that Shadowhawk if we can. Needs a 3 or better. Earl is gonna need a 4 or better to save Gundog, or Longsword. Okay, we're jammed, that's fine. We can back up 1 hex, I think, is the move. Longsword. Reckless your ass out of here. Needs a pair of 5s for getting up. Hopefully you don't blow off another leg. Right torso's down to 5 structure. That's ridiculous. As much as we know that Princess hates archers, I think she hates Goliaths more. She is just absolutely tearing him apart. Yeah, we're about to lose that right front leg as well. All it's going to take is a medium laser or a cluster of LRMs. Crab. Okay, everyone succeeds at their checks and the Shiloh 149 flies off the map. Okay. Artillery hits and misses as it does no damage to anyone. The Shadowhawk taking shots at Wyvern. We need... Oh, he turned off his light. We can't hit him. Why can he hit us if we can't hit him? He needs a 13. Okay, well. We can't even fire on him. Okay, well we can fire on the Kentaro. We've got him on 13s. Got him on 6s. Let's go ahead and fire some medium lasers. We'll do 3 of them. I know they're not going to hit as it currently stands, but we might be able to get some light on him in a minute, and that'll bring it down to like 10s, I think. Earl at the Griffin 2C on 8s and 10s. That's gonna be like everything. Ooh, 6 over. That's no good. Yeah, it's gonna be 4 heat over for him. Petra at the Crab has him on 6s and 8s. We'll skip 2 of the mediums and throw in the SRM6. That puts us 4 heat over. Longsword, can't torso twist. Can't do much of anything. So you're just gonna back tank for a second against the Griffin, who's about to blow your leg off. And knock you down and slow you down some more so you can get off the map. Everyone gets eliminated. The Lightning and the Shylone lose 1 altitude apiece. The Lightning hits the Shadowhawk in the right arm and CTR for 5 each. Down to 3 armor on that CTR. The Shadowhawk missing Wyvern on a 10. The Shylone hits the Talon in the left torso with a medium laser down to 7. And 12 LRMs to the right torso, right arm, and left torso. Wyvern missing with the medium lasers on 13s. We knew that was going to happen. At the Kentaro on 6s lands 24 LRMs to the right torso, left torso, and the arms. The Griffin lands 2 SRMs on the Dragon's right arm and right torso. Earl lands an autocannon 10 on the Griffin 2C's right leg, down to 10 armor there. Medium laser to the left leg, down to 15. Petra at the Crab hits it in the left torso, down to 3 structure. Hits it in the CT, down to 10 armor. LB10X to the right arm, down to 3 armor. Medium lasers to the legs, down to 9 and 14. And 5 SRMs to the left torso, destroyed and blowing off the left arm. The CT and the head, forcing his first consciousness check. The Crab at the Demolisher hits it in the left side with a medium laser, costing it half its movement points. And the Shadowhawk 2C at the Dragon hits it in the CT with a medium pulse. 2 medium pulses, one of them glancing, for a total of 10. And an ER medium to the right leg, and a pair of streaks to the left leg and arm. The Rifleman missing on 10s, the Devastator missing on 12s, the Sentinel missing on a 10, the Demolisher missing on 12s. The Dragon hits the Kentaro in the right torso critical with a medium laser, but does not get the crit. 6 LRMs to the left torso, it's down to 12 armor, and the Griffin at the Gundog hits it in the left torso with an ERPPC and an SRM, critting on another SRM4, hits it in the right torso with another SRM down to 3 structure. The Emperor missing on a 9, the J1 hits the Shadowhawk at the right torso with a machine gun. And the Talon hits the Hunchback in the CTR with an ERPPC down to 11 structure. The Marco missing on 10s and 12s, the Kentaro missing on 12s. Oh. Not attached to the center torso. The Kentaro did narc the dragon in the center torso. The Kentaro at Wyvern hits him in the left torso with a medium laser down to 5 structure, or 5 armor. 9 LRMs to the right arm down to 5 armor there as well. The Griffin 2C hits Longsword in the center torso rear with an ER large laser for 10 down to 9 armor. And 3 LRMs to the front left leg, which transfers into the left torso rear. The Kentaro falls down, takes 6 to the left leg and right arm. The Crab falls, takes 5 to the right torso. Gundog stays standing with a 6, gets an 8, and the Dragon needs a 7, gets an 8 as well. Can Earl? No, Earl cannot punch the Crab because he fired his medium lasers out of his right arm, which is kind of a bummer. I wish I'd noticed that. The Talon kicks the Hunchback in the left leg for 7, down to 13. The Griffin kicks the J1 in the rear, immobilizing it. The Hunchback stays standing. Lots of people are building up heat. The Griffin 2C is at 11. The Griffin 2N is at 10. The other Griffin 2N is at 6. The Kentaro is at 7. The Shadowhawk 2C is at 5. Everyone else is at 4 or less. But yeah, things are heating up a bit. People are burning their gauges. Alright, we are at 86% of our forces. Primary Op 4 is at 91% of theirs. We've lost initiative, and we're basically going first. Actually, no, we're going after the Allied forces. So that'll give us a little bit. Indirect attacks. Thumpers are landing next turn. Alright, starting with Gundog. You're getting out of there. Needs a 5 to avoid falling down and blowing off his other leg. Did we succeed? We did, yes. Longsword has 2 pips of evasion, and his mech is on fire. Wyvern is going to back up a hex and get that Shadowhawk at that short range. Earl can come down here. We can unload medium lasers and SRMs on the Kentaro, and then we can kick the Crab. I think that's the move. Petra. I'm not going to be able to get the Kentaro into kicking range, but might be able to get the Crab in kicking range. Yeah, let's get the Kentaro into medium laser range. Needs a 4 better. We made it. Yeah, those 4s make me nervous. Alright, we've got a bunch of aircraft making their paths. Alright, everyone succeeded on their movement checks. Banshee needed a 4, got a 5. The Talon is in the middle of a crossroads. 2 planes flying overhead are both going to bomb the crap out of him. Thumpers, no effect. Talon taking a bunch of damage. Wyvern at the Shadowhawk. Still outside of range. He can shoot the Pompier. On 7s and 11s. but we can't shoot him. That's some bullcrap. The Kentaro, we've got him on 7s and 6s though. Yeah, we'll do 2 medium lasers, 7s and 3s, excuse me. Yeah, we'll go 2 heat over to land some LRMs on the Kentaro. Earl on the Kentaro has 5s. We'll do all the medium lasers except 1. We'll do 1 small laser. We'll do the SRM6, that puts us at 3 heat over. Petra at the Kentaro has him on 6s and 5s. Actually, we are going to skip one of the PPCs. We're going to do all the mediums, and we've got a pair of smalls at 9, 1 small at 9, and the SRM6 on a 6, on 5, sorry. So yeah, the Kentaro is going to blow up this turn with a little luck. Longsword is escaping the battlefield. Hopefully not going to take any more damage. The Kentaro goes down. No gyro, I think I saw. The Lightning, the Samurai, and the Shylone all lose 1 altitude from attacking. Everyone gets illuminated. Rifleman hits the Talon in the right arm with a large laser and an autocannon 5, destroying the Talon's right arm, which is his PPC arm. Nice. The Devastator hits the Talon in the right leg with 2 autocannon 20s, destroying the right leg, transferring into the right torso, destroying the right torso, transferring into the center torso, destroyed by engine destruction. The Talon is toast. The Shadowhawk missing on 7s and 11s. The other Demolisher? Sorry, Devastator and a Demolisher. The Demolisher missing on 11s. Dragon missing on 6, 8s, and 10s. The Griffin hits the J1 in the right side with the PPC. The Emperor hits the Sentinel in the right and left leg with medium lasers, and the left torso with an autocannon 5. He's down to single digits in all of those locations. The Marco missing on 11. The Shadowhawk 2C hits the Rifleman in the right arm with a pair of medium pulse lasers, down to 1 armor. The Sentinel missing on 7s, 8s, and 6s. Wyvern at the Kentaro hits him in the right torso with a medium laser. Hits him in the right torso with 7 more LRMs and the CT with 5. The right torso takes another 10 from LRMs, critic on his SRM6. And his right arm and left torso. Earl at the Kentaro hits him in the left leg and the CT. Hits him in the right torso for the SRM6 ammo. Yeah, the SRM6 ammo goes off, deals 180 damage to the right torso. The rest is prevented by case, but it still is destroyed by engine destruction. The Griffin at the Rifleman missing on 6s and 8s. The Banshee at the Kentaro is already dead. The Talon at the Hunchback hits him in the right leg for 10, down to 10 armor there. The Samurai at the Talon is already dead. The Lightning at the Talon is already dead. The Kentaro at the J1 hits it in the front with 2 medium lasers and 2 SRMs critting on his sensors. The Shylone at the Kentaro, he's already dead. He blows up some more with more SRM6 ammo. The Kentaro on 9s and lands on 11 on Wyvern's right arm with the Narc launcher. And hits with 4 SRMs to the right arm and left torso. The arms are both down to 1 and 3. Lands 9 LRMs to the CT and the LA. The Hunchback at the Shadowhawk 2C lands 1 hit to the left torso. The Griffin 2C lands a hit on the Rifleman's left leg, down to 7. Takes 3 more LRMs, down to 4. 3 LRMs to the left arm, down to 12. The Rifleman took 20 plus, needs a 6, gets a 9. And there's a crater where the Talon was. We are going to be kicking the Crab in the right leg if we can on a 4. And we'll be kicking him in the front on a 5. He goes down on his back. Alright, round report says The dragon misses on a 10. The rifleman misses on a 12. The griffin kicks the J1 in the rear, destroys the J1. Shadowhawk 2C kicks the rifleman in the left leg down to 9 structure. The Atlas kicks the crab in the right leg for 21, which is destroyed and transfers into the right torso. The Banshee misses on a 5, gets a 3. The Griffin kicks the dragon in the left leg for 11, down to 15. The crab automatically falls, takes 5 to the right arm, critting on 2 double heat sinks. Or 1 double heat sink twice. I can't tell. Bartholomew needs to roll an 11 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 12, so not bad. Petra missed a kick, needs a 4, gets a 6. The dragon needs a 5, gets an 8. The rifleman needs a 5, gets a 9. Alright. So how is the convoy looking? Lots of people are heating up. We've got the Griffin 2N at 8 heat. We've got the Kintaro at 6. We've got the Shadowhawk 2C at 6. We got the Griffin 2C at 7 and the Griffin 2N at 8. Everyone else is at 4 or less, it looks like. We've lost initiative, but we're not going first at least. We're going behind the house officer and the convoy. We are going before our allied forces. We're at 85% of our forces. The primary outfor is at 72.25% of theirs. Alright, Thumpers will be landing next turn. The crab is likely to eject, seeing as how he's missing a leg. Wyvern wants to reckless and get into this Shadowhawk's face. L-arms be damned. I want to see him. I want to shoot him. Earl's next target is going to be probably the Griffin or the Griffin 2C or the Shadowhawk 2C. So we will reckless him to here on a 4. We're going to fail one of those sooner or later. Petra, I believe, also is going to need a 4 to move to here. And Longsword is going to need a 5 to go there. He's going to need a pair of 5s. Let's walk recklessly. We're going to need just 1 5. Oh, and he falls down on his right torso, destroying the right torso, blowing off the front right leg, critting on the LBX, critting on his head, forcing his second consciousness check, forcing his third consciousness check. He rolls a 10 and a 12. Okay, well. Good for you, Longsword. You fell down and blew off another leg. It wasn't the 4s that killed us, it was the 5. He's still got an SRM4 and a medium laser. That's about it. Alright, round report says... It's getting slower and slower. Crab ejected. BattleMech recovery vehicle and the hyena both flee the battlefield. Archer needs a 3, gets a 10. Alice needs a 4, gets an 8. Banshee needs a 4, gets a 6. Goliath needs a 5, gets a 2. And Roy gets hurt some more. Alright. Thumper lands on the Kintaro, hits him in the left torso rear for 5, down to 3 armor there. Wyvern at the Shadowhawk. Has him on 9s? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. What does he have us on? 10s and 8s. Right, no, the lightning has him on a 10. He's got us on an 8. We've got him on 9s. Yeah, we're gonna go for the kick, I think. We'll throw in one LRM on a 12 just to keep the heat sinks working, even though it's a waste of ammo. We've got the Shadowhawk 2C on 9s. We've got the Griffin or the Griffin on 10s. Or we've got the Kentaro on 7s, but it looks like everyone else is already taking out the Kentaro. So we will go for... Go for the Griffin on a 10. Throw in a 12. Throw in a 10 with the LRMs. That'll give us a chance to cool down. Petra has the Griffin on 10s as well, or the Shadowhawk on 9s. That's going to be the Shadowhawk then. And we'll throw in a medium laser and an SRM 6 on 11s just to go one heat over. Artillery hit something it was supposed to. Yeah, that's impressive. Finally, landed 5 points of damage out of the artillery. For as many points as it's worth, and it is worth like a couple thousand points, it really does less damage than a 2,000 point mech would do. The Samurai, the Lightning, and the Shiloh all lose 1 altitude. The Hunchback misses the Shadowhawk 2C. The Samurai hits the Kentaro in the right arm and the left torso rear, blowing up the Narc ammo, knocking out the pilot, knocking down the Kentaro. No, it ejects. It does not fall down. Lightning at the Shadowhawk, missing on 10s. The Shiloh at the Sentinel hits him in the right torso for 5, down to 3. The Shadowhawk at Wyvern hits him in the center torso with the LB-10X, down to 20 structure. And a medium laser to the right leg and left arm. Would have been the head, but cost us an edge. And 2 SRMs to the left arm. 2 SRMs to the CT and the right arm. Not getting any crits, but man, it's lucky. The Emperor at the Kentaro missing on a 10. The Griffin at the Rifleman on 9s and 11s missing. Wyvern missing the Shadowhawk on 9s and 12s. The Shadowhawk hits the Hunchback in the left torso rear with a medium pulse laser, and then follows that with another one down to 2 structure. It's a good thing the Hunchback has all of his lasers in the right torso and no ammo in the left. SRM to the CTR does crit on his gyro and his engine though. So he is going to be heat inefficient and he's going to have a hard time standing. The right torso rear takes an SRM down to 2 armor, and the right leg critical takes a hit, critting on his foot. So that and the gyro is going to be a +4 to his rolls. The Hunchback is falling down. Earl at the Griffin on 10s and 12s missing. Petra at the Shadowhawk hits him in the right leg with a PPC down to 10. The Sentinel at the Emperor hits him in the left torso rear and the right leg. Left torso rear is down to 3. The Rifleman hits the Shadowhawk 2C in the left arm and the left torso rear, down to 0 armor on that torso. The Griffin at the Rifleman hits him with 4 SRMs to the arms and the right leg and left torso, critting on his autocannon 5. The Devastator on 9s lands an autocannon 20 to the Shadowhawk 2C's right torso, down to 6 structure. The Demolisher hits the Shadowhawk 2C in the right leg with an autocannon 20, critting on his hip and leaving him with 1 structure. The Kentaro hits the Hunchback in the right arm with 3 LRMs. The Dragon hits the Kentaro in the left leg with 3 LRMs. The Griffin 2C hits the Rifleman in the right leg with an ER large laser and 2 LRMs, critting on his lower leg. Hits him in the left torso with 3 LRMs. Hits him in the head with 2 LRMs, forcing his first consciousness check. Hits him in the right leg with 3 LRMs, down to 9 structure. Wyvern took 20 plus, needs a 4, gets a 6. The Hunchback needs an 11, gets a 6. Takes 5 to the right torso, leaving him with 15 armor. Needs an 11 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 7. Needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets a 9. The Shadowhawk 2C needs a pair of 9s, gets 10 and an 8. Takes 5 to the left arm, narrowly avoids hurting the pilot. The Rifleman needs a pair of 7s, gets a 7 and a 4, takes 6 damage to the left arm and the right torso rear, down to 1 armor there. The Pilot takes another point of damage, needs a 5 to stay conscious, gets a 10. Wyvern at the Shadowhawk will be kicking him on a 4 and knocking him down. Let's see. Did we crit his leg or something? The Griffin 2N kicks the Rifleman in the right arm, which transfers into the right torso, leaving it with 13 armor. Wyvern kicks the Shadowhawk in the left leg for 14, down to 2. The Griffin 1C hits the Griffin 2N in the right leg for 12, down to 12. And the Shadowhawk HB misses its kick on our archer. The Griffin stays standing. The Shadowhawk needs a pair of 7s because he's standing in sand. Gets a 10 and a 6. Falls down and takes 6 damage to the center torso and the left leg. Needs a 7 to avoid hurting the pilot. Gets a 7. So narrowly avoiding taking damage on that seatbelt check. Oh, wow. Wyvern is at 2 heat. The Griffin 2N is at 10. The Shadowhawk 2C is at 8. The Griffin 2C is at 14. Needs a 4+ to avoid shutting down. Gets an 8. The Griffin 2N is at 10 heat. Everyone else is running relatively cool. Samurai. Spent more thrust than structural integrity he had. Needs an 8, gets a 10. So he dodged a bullet on that one. Alright, how is our convoy looking? We've won initiative. 8, 6, 9. We're going before the aircraft, but after the convoy. Convoy, 3 fled out of 8. 2 destroyed. So we need to get 1 more across the field. Primary op 4 is at 58%. 2 with light damage, 1 with heavy damage, 4 destroyed. Allied aircraft is still at 100%, surprisingly. Come on, we just need to get 1 more of the convoy across, and we can call this a win. I believe. Let me double check that. 50% must reach the far edge of the map. Convoy, yes. Preserve convoy units to receive 1 support point per surviving unit. Crippled units only count if the opposing force is routed, which I don't think we're going to do. Let's see, the Demolisher and the Devastator doing their thing, the Pompier making his way across, the Marco making his way across. Gundog, can we stand up? We can't do a careful stand. We need an 11 because we're in sand. So that's going to be a no. We're just going to turn and we might be able to hit something with some SRMs. The Atlas. Moving, I think, recklessly. Catch up to that Shadowhawk. At a range of 3 hexes on his right side, we might be able to do some good damage. We might be able to leg him. We need a 4 or better. We're going to fail one of those. Wyvern, you're going to wait. Banshee. Also going to reckless. Also going to move 5 hexes. Also going to need a 4. And got the 3. Takes 10 damage to the left and right arm. Petra needs a 4 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 7. Alright, we will continue moving recklessly. We will try to go another 2 hexes. We need a pair of 4s, and we make them both. Alright, Wyvern is going to stand still and beat the Shadowhawk, hopefully. And with 18 minutes left in the stream, I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to do. Hunchback 4P, our house officer, ejects and destroyed by ejection. So that is one of our objectives failed. Rifleman needs a 6 to stand up, gets a 6. Shadowhawk 2C needs a 6 to stand up, gets a 9. Earl needs a 4, gets a 6. The Banshee got a 3, we knew that. Needs a 4 to stay standing, gets a 5. Needs a 4 for moving reckless, gets a 4. Man, Petra is rolling like doo-doo today. The Shadowhawk needs a 7, gets a 12. Alright, the lag is getting a little bit ridiculous, and the Thumper lands on the Shadowhawk's right torso for 5, and the Devastator to the right side for 5. So, worth it or no? I'm thinking kinda sorta. The right torso might come in handy, that side might not be too bad. We need him on 7s. And 10s. So we'll do heat neutral. Earl at the Shadowhawk has him on 5s, has the Griffin on 6s. Let me get Petra first. Petra has the Shadowhawk on 5s and the Griffin on 8s. So Petra's going to be shooting at the Shadowhawk regardless. That's going to be 5, 5, and 5. That's going to be a bunch of 7s. We'll go 8 heat over to try to take out this Griffin on 7s. Yeah, we can cool down next turn. Earl at the Griffin 2C on 6s and 8s, I believe. And we'll do a 7, and we'll go 7 heat over for some SRMs on the Griffin. We might regret that. We might not. Gundog can't do much of anything this turn. Alright. Let's see if we can do some good work here. Alright, the Samurai, the Lightning, and both Shilones lose in altitude from weapon attack. The Devastator, missing on 11s. The Demolisher lands a hit on the left torso of the Shadowhawk, down to 3 structure. Shadowhawk at Wyvern hits him in the right arm and the center torso, both going internal. Hits him with 2 SRMs and 6 LBX pellets. Does not get the crit. The Dragon hits the Shadowhawk in the right leg, which destroys it and transfers into the right torso, which is destroyed, blows off the right arm, transfers to the center torso, leaving it with 17 armor. Autocannon 2 to the left arm leaves it with 0 armor. Emperor at the Sentinel hits it in the center torso and the left arm, down to 5 and 3. The Griffin at the Rifleman hits it with 5 SRMs to the legs, the center torso, and the left arm. The Shadowhawk 2C hits the Devastator in the front with a medium pulse laser, costing it a movement point. Medium pulse lasers to the right side. ER medium laser to the front, immobilizing it, so that's going to be a problem. And an ER small laser to the front leaves it with 19 armor. 2 SRMs to the right side leaves it with 10 armor. Wyvern at the Shadowhawk hits him in the left leg with 2 medium lasers, which crits on literally every actuator in his left leg. So the Shadowhawk is going down. And a medium laser to the center torso, down to 8. The Banshee at the Shadowhawk hits it in the left torso, which crits on the SRM-2 ammo. The Shadowhawk is destroyed by ejection. And that leaves Earl at the Griffin 2C, hits him in the left torso with the LB-10X, hits him in the left arm with a medium laser, hits him in the right leg with a medium laser. More medium laser to the left leg, and 6 LRMs to the right torso and left arm. The Griffin at the Devastator hits him in the right side down to 0 armor. The Samurai hits the Shadowhawk 2C in the rear for 10 down to 2 armor on the CTR. Oh, sorry. 5 to the right torso rear, which transfers to the center torso rear, not 10 points. Medium laser to the right torso rear transfers to the center torso rear, leaving it with 1 structure. Oh, Shadowhawk is already dead. The lightning missing on 7s. The Griffin hits the rifleman in the right torso rear down to 10 structure. LRM 5 hits the right leg for 2, blows off the right leg. The Shylone hits the Sentinel in the left torso, which crits on his autocannon ammo and blows up the Sentinel. The Shylone hits the Shadowhawk in the center torso, which does no good. Wyvern stays standing. The Griffin 2C stays standing. The Shadowhawk falls on his right arm and CT critical, leaving him with 1 armor and 7 armor. Needs a 12 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 5. Needs a 3 to stay conscious, gets an 8. The Rifleman falls on its front, takes 5 damage to the right arm, which transfers to the right torso, critting on his medium laser and transferring into the center torso. Not transferring it, he took 6 damage. 5 to the right torso, 1 to the CT. Needs a 12 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets an 8. Needs a 7 to stay conscious, gets an 8. So the Rifleman is in a bad way as well. Wyvern will be kicking the Shadowhawk on a 0. Maybe we can get the kill. Here goes nothing. Griffin kicks the Rifleman in the right leg, which transfers into the right torso rear. Archer kicks the Shadowhawk in the right arm, which transfers into the right torso. We might actually end up routing them after all. We'll see. They might be down to 50%, considering they did just lose like 2 mechs this turn. Pilot Daquila needs a 7 to wake up, and it gets the 7. Bartholomew has been picked up by the Pompier. Earl and Petra are at 7 and 8 heat. The Griffin 2N is at 8 heat. The Griffin 2C is at 6. Everyone else is at 3 or less. Things are really blowing up. Yeah, they are. Things have been blowing up for a little bit now. Starting with Gundog. Team 1 is at 77%. We are at 79%. The convoy is at 61%. Primary op 4 is at 41%. We can call this a win. Finally. Yep, let's go ahead. We will declare victory. We successfully routed the primary op 4. We get bonus points, support points that is, for all of the convoy units, even the ones that are crippled. And the ones that escaped, which I think 2 or 3 of them had escaped already. 3 I think it was. Artillery still has to land. Hopefully we don't lose anyone to artillery. I hope I didn't just jinx us. Oh, Deborah needs a 5 to wake up and gets the 5. Successfully wakes up. Everyone is at 0 heat. We always save the salvage. It'll let us. I'm gonna give it just a second. Okay, yes. Yes, we controlled the battlefield. The Gundog was crippled, missing 2 legs, missing the LB-10X, missing 3 out of 4 SRMs, missing 1 out of 2 lasers, with 1 movement point, a crit on the engine. Yeah, the Gundog was looking rough. The Angler not looking much better with 12 points left in the CT, 5 points left on the right arm. Half of its LRM-20 ammo gone. Longsword took 3 hits. He's going to be in the infirmary for a little bit. The Griffin 2C, and the Griffin all escaped. Do we want anything left? We've got the Shadowhawk 2C, which does have a pair of medium pulses and a pair of ER lasers. So I think we want the Shadowhawk. I think that's it. We did not capture anyone. The Sentinel was aircraft, the Kintaro was aircraft, the Shadowhawk, the Talon, and the Crab were all aircraft. Earl got the Kintaro, Petra got the Shadowhawk 2C. Reached the west edge. The Emperor was alive, the Hyena didn't die. The Pompier was alive, the Marco was alive. So that's, I believe, 6 units made it across. Preserve 50%. Yeah, the BattleMech recovery vehicle. The Emperor, the Hyena, the Pompier, the Marco, and the Hover LRM APC. Oh, yeah, okay. So that's going to be 6 support points. That is major. Force withdrawal of 50% or more. We did that. We did not preserve the Hunchback. We did preserve everything but the Hunchback and a Devastator. So that does count as a victory. We got 6 support points. That is nuts. That's going to be hugely helpful. And that was listed as a victory. So, let me get Longsword into the infirmary. He's got a couple bruises on his chest and left hand, and some cuts on his right foot. He is going to be out for about 5 days. Fred Jones is going to be out for about 2 days. The repair bay is going to be a bit nuts. The Shadowhawk, we're waiting on, not Radnabala, who was it? Yasrudin. Yasrudin is going to be doing our armor so that he can get the XP for it. Let's go ahead. We'll have our regulars start doing these actuators. Salmon can do an actuator or 2. Kai can do an actuator or 2. The Locust 2C has some actuators. We'll have Shada knock out one of those. We'll have Alexandru. Yeah, we're just gonna have all of our people doing actuators for now. Halima, and last but certainly not least, Vernita. Alright, so that is all of our tech time for the day used up. That is everyone in the warehouse, in the infirmary that needs to be. That is all the parts fixed that need to be. We're gonna have some repairs needing to be taken care of before too long. Ian Turtle has enough points for another edge, so we're going to do that. Roy Greenfield needs another point of edge award. Where is it? Combat action gets a 2nd point of edge for that. So yeah, definitely that. He also has clan invasion. Does he get anything else? I don't think he does. Okay. So I think that is about where it stands for tonight. Tomorrow, or next week, I mean, we will be... Let me just double check here, but I think... we've got a couple hexes here that need to be cleared out. Do we have Pollution Lances there? Galatea Lance, I believe, is waiting for repairs. No? Pollution Lance, Galatea Lance could go out and do that. Oh, Galatea Lance is right there. They haven't gotten back yet. Okay, so I think this is where we're going to save it for tonight. Oh, we have not advanced a day. We have not advanced a single day. So let me go ahead and change the name of that. So I'm not saving over last week's save file. I think that's about everything. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe, join the community. Link to the Discord is in my bio. I'm glad everyone was able to make it. Big Fluffy, Varank. Thanks for joining me. Let me go ahead and oh, that was the keyboard. That was the keyboard. Raid Big Fluffy 10K, and we are going to do that. So we will see you guys next week. Until then, have a good one, if not a great one.